What? What the fuck do you want? What? I leave for a few months, and all of a sudden I turn 21, and all of a sudden I can't be an alcoholic. Is there a fucking problem? Fuck. What? What? He leaves for a few months. And then he gets a drinking problem. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, he must be crazy. I'm not fucking 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 crazy. So I might have a bit of a problem. Okay, I'm gonna get this sorted out. I'll we'll redo this when I'm better.
Yeah, it's been like 4 weeks. It has been 4 weeks, but as you can see, I'm looking very dapper, very drippy, very sophisticated, as one might say. I don't have a quarter zip and matcha, so you're getting a suit and pumpkin spice coffee from a K cup. Also, I like coffee now. Really takes the edge off. But yes, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a while, and a lot of stuff has happened. I've had a lot of nerd shit that I've been doing, and as you can see behind me, a few other things have happened, specifically today, the date being November 17th, 2025. And to my Japanese professor who might be watching this, because this is also the channel where I upload all of my Japanese video assignments. I'm sorry, I'm not in class. There was something very important going on today. I've got Japanese related thing. I got two Japanese. I got three. I got three Japanese related things. Let's just say that that speaks for something. I mean, if you want to include Japanese companies, you could see I got a few here. But ladies and gentlemen, yes, today, Monday, November 17th, the Game Awards have announced their nominations. Jeff Keighley got on that big screen looking all submissive and breedable, and he spat out some absolute fire today. Holy shit. There's a lot of other stuff I want to talk about in terms of nerdy shit that I've been doing, but I'm going to save that for the end of the video because I want you guys to actually hear what this fucking video is about. And since my last few videos, months ago over the summer, were all about anime or animation, K-pop demon hunters, I wanted to bring it back to what the fucking channel title is called, gaming. So let's talk about my personal picks for the Game Awards 2025. Hit it, Steve. I don't know who the fuck Steve is. I'm not paying fucking anybody. Now, before we get into the actual awards, partly because I want to talk about a few other things with gaming this year, and partly because the announcements only went live about an hour ago, and the site is still a little fucky with the nominations. So I got to pad some time. But so many games have come out. And you can see behind me all the games that I have personally gotten. And this is just physically. I have also gotten so many games through the PlayStation Store as well as Steam that I will throw up here. And I have played a bunch. This is the biggest year of gaming that I have had, possibly in terms of buying video games, but definitely in terms of actually playing video games. In terms of my physical library of the games that I've actually bought this year, I have played about 33% of all the games. 10 out of the 32 games you see here, I have played and I have beaten. Unfortunately, the other 20 I've not gotten to. They are on the backlog, or they're a part of a series that I want to build up to, like Assassin's Creed or Monster Hunter. I would like to play a few of the previous games to get into those. KCD2 as well. And there are so many more games that have come out this year that I've obviously not played, but I haven't even gotten yet, physically or digitally, that I would absolutely love to fucking get. Just a list of them right here. But there have been so many good games that have come out this year. It is arguably one of the best years of gaming in terms of games that have released, games that have gotten ported over. And I would say some of the biggest announcements in gaming, between the Switch 2, the Steam frame, and the Steam machine that just came out, Xbox being Xbox, Let's go Game Pass. Yeah. I'm just playing on that last one. But gaming has actually had a lot of fucking hype and a lot of amazing feats this year. I was going to transition to the next section and actually get into the Game Awards, but the site has crashed. So, oh, no, it's up. Maybe. Hold on, give me a second. It's currently loading. Oh, no, crashed again. So how's your day been? Has it been good? Mine's been pretty good right now. I got to hear about a bunch of the stuff. We're gonna see if I can start voting. If I can't do it through the website, I'll just pull up the fucking video. So you guys played Mind's Eye? All right then. Give me a second. Time to get to work. Let me just throw these on. I'll be back shortly.
20 minutes later.
All right, holy fuck. It's the site's up after like half an hour. Great. I did not want to make fucking slides for this thing. Now it's probably going to be a little glitchy. It's probably going to be a little fucky. I'm going to try and do these in order of how they did it on the stream, because normally voting starts off immediately with Game of the Year. I don't want to do that right away, so we're going to go with all the other ones first. We're also doing real time showing you right now. I don't feel like fucking editing this later. So, best performance. We got Troy Baker, holy shit, my apologies. Ben Starr playing Verso in Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Charlie Cox for Gustav, same game. We have Erika Ishii for Ghost of Yote playing Atsu, Jennifer English, who did Mael for Expedition 33, Konatsu Kato, who did the main character for Silent Hill F. I just saw it and I'm forgetting it. I'm so sorry. And Troy Baker, who played Indy for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I'm telling you right now, Expedition 33 is sweeping through a lot of these awards. I'm sorry. But what I can tell you is it is going to be from Expedition 33. For me, it was between Ben Starr and Charlie Cox, and it is going to be Charlie Cox. Fuck, I have to sign in, you asshole. Guys, don't look at my password. Stop. All right, we're voting Charlie Cox. We're voting the Cox. All right, next up is the best ongoing game. Now, I will say, I have not played all of these games. For the last section, I actually did play all three of them. Well, I haven't finished Yote, but I have played all three of them. And I've played most of these games. I've at the very least heard of most of these games. There are some games I don't know about. There are some games that I haven't played on here, namely No Man's Sky, Final Fantasy 15, right? 14, Final Fantasy 14, Helldivers 2, and I've only played a little bit of Marvel Rivals. So for me, these games might be better. They might be better for ongoing. I gotta go with what I know. I gotta go with what I fucking know. Coffee is cold. Fuck. This literally happens every year, and 404. This literally happens every fucking year where the website gets fucking overloaded. I don't know why they don't try to expect this shit more. I don't know if it's maybe they do. Maybe they fucking do, and then bots just come in and fucking bog down the side. I don't know how they don't, prepare for this months in advance. The site's gonna have a high amount of traffic. Get the servers up, motherfucker. I walk a lonely road. Fuck. Fuck shit. God damn it. So we're trying to keep those up there is fucking impossible. Especially because my vent is right fucking there. All right, the site's actually starting to get a little faster now. It's actually starting to, keep up with me. I haven't played any of these. I know of 3. Actually, no, I know of all of them, technically. The only reason I know Usamume is from the anime, because it had better animation than some of the other things airing that season. When it was coming out. Wuthering Waves, obviously. That's more from different websites. Persona 5, obviously. I know of all these. I'm just going to go with Wuthering Waves. It's the most popular as far as I'm aware. So I'm just going to go with that. And also, fuck Destiny. Oh, look at that. If you hover over, it actually shows you what you voted. Ooh, sexy, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Get your fucking hats off, get your coats off. This is where it starts heating up a little bit. I just realized I had this undone the entire time. We're not redoing it. Best art direction. I'm going to tell you right now, I have not played Hades 2 and I have not played Hollow Knight Silksong. I have seen clips, I've seen gameplay, I've seen people play, but I have not played them personally. And I will also say, the art style and the art direction doesn't do much for me. I think it looks great. I think they both look great. It doesn't do much for me. And as much as I would absolutely love to glaze, absolutely cum dumpster that shit all over the screen for Expedition 33, God, for art direction, it's hard. Not because it's bad, but because it's going up against Death Stranding 2 on the beach and Ghost of Yote, two of the best, like, realistic looking games probably ever. And even between those two games, it is so, so hard. But if you guys remember months ago, if you watched the video about, or you tuned into the stream, I had said what some of my favorite games were. And after I played some of these games, I said where they had landed. Death Stranding 2 and Clair Obscur are tied for my number 2 game of all time. No joke, they are tied for number 2. Pokemon White 2 will always be in that first slot because nostalgia and Pokemon are just really big on that. But these two hold it. And if I'm not going to give it to Clair Obscur, then fuck, I gotta give it to Death Stranding, dude. So Death Stranding 2, welcome to the party.
Yeah, fuck everything that guy just said. Bro is absolutely fucking bugging. I don't know what I was on. Big E on top. Big Claire on top.
I'm gonna have to sift through fucking 5 hours of fucking footage if this is what you're gonna do to me. Stop fucking me. I paused the rendering on the fucking 7-hour VOD of Dispatch just for this shit. Come on. I skipped my Japanese class. Come on. To be fair, that was like an hour ago, but still, come on. All right, there we go. Once again, the same picks. It's the same picks. You're going to be seeing this lineup a lot. And again, I apologize to Hollow Knight Silksong. I apologize to Hades. I have not played the games. I've seen stuff. I've obviously heard a bit of the music. It, again, sounds great. I can't give it to that, though. And I apologize to Ghost of Yote again. If it was not going up against these two, I would give it to Ghost of Yote because some of that music was absolutely one of the actual soundtracks that I have saved and got all the songs on my music library. And I don't do that much. You know, the only other two soundtracks where I've actually pulled and gotten all the music from, or technically the other three, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 1, and Death Stranding 2. Those 4 games are the ones where I actually have the soundtracks, the entire soundtracks of the game on my music library. Expedition 33, Ghost of Yote, and both Death Stranding games. And I'm telling you right now, between Clair Obscur with Lorien Testart and Death Stranding 2 with Woodkid and Ludwig Forrester, holy shit, this is hard. Because Clair Obscur obviously gave us this beautiful orchestral French music and just making it amazing, and it mixed it with different styles as well. Woodkid popped the fuck off, dude. I mean, To the Wilder alone is one of my favorite songs that has ever been in a video game. No joke, full stop. But holy shit, it's hard to pick. You know, let me actually look at my Apple Music. Can I see what I've played more of? Also, no, I was not joking. I have the entire soundtrack on this shit. I've listened to a lot of Clair Obscur. Yeah, there's more Clair Obscur. You know what? I have listened to more Death Stranding. Dancing with Ghosts, On the Beach, the BB's theme, both the old one and the new one. I have listened to that more. Yeah, to the Wilder, Black Drift, Quiet Strike. Yeah, I shit, dude. I think I need to get. I need to give this to Death Stranding. I have to give it to Death Stranding. I've listened to it so much more. Oh, it eats me up. But here's the thing. Expedition 33 is in so many other categories that even if it doesn't win this one, I got no problems with it, like, not winning this. It's going to be in so many others and probably win so many others. All right. Best audio design. Have not played Battlefield 6. I've seen a little bit. I have played everything else. I'm not going to give it to Silent Hill F. Again, it's also not going to Yote. I'm sorry. It's between Expedition 33 and Death Stranding 2. And I gotta say, this one I do gotta give to Expedition 33. This one I absolutely gotta give to Expedition 33. Obviously for the music, but that's not really a big factor in this because I'm also thinking about some of the other sounds in the game, some of the effects, and just some of like the mysticism with it. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, next up, best adaptation, movie and TV show. Now, I have not seen the Splinter Cell Death Watch. I didn't even know that was a thing. And I have not seen Until Dawn. From what I have heard from the Moisty Man himself, Sonar, Until Dawn was actually not a great movie, and it was kind of barely an adaptation from what I remember of when he reviewed the movie. So, remembering of a third party account of the situation. I heard Until Dawn was not great, and it didn't really follow the actual game too much. It used some of the same character names, but it told a bit of a different story. So I'm not going to give it to that. But I did see the Minecraft movie, I did see Devil May Cry, and I did see The Last of Us Season 2. Out of all of them, I'm leaning towards the Minecraft movie. I know, crazy fucking take. Because here's the thing: I haven't played the Devil May Cry games, so I can't really speak to the games and how well it adapts for that. And while I definitely liked The Last of Us Season 2, it felt a little weird from the games. Like, especially Ellie's character, they just really morphed her into not Ellie. Like, Ellie is this like brutal, she's pretty calculating in the game, and in the show they tried to make her more sympathetic and kind of dumb. I'm not a huge fan of that, but like the only reason I even say the Minecraft movie is a little better is because while it was very stupid, they knew it was stupid and they leaned into that stupid. And then obviously all the memes, like The Last of Us Season 2 obviously had the "I'm gonna be a dad" meme, but the Minecraft movie had so much more from the trailers alone. Flint and steel, the nether, chicken Jackie. I think for the entire idea of just leaning into the meme for the Minecraft movie, I think I need to give it to it. I think I need to give it to a Minecraft movie. Shocker to say. I'm not going to be too pressed if it doesn't win, but that's just going to be my pick. I've been blocked? What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? Fuck you. What? And now my mouse disconnected. What the shit? Dude, is my computer fucking dying? I kind of want to turn off and like restart my computer, but then I'd have to restart the entire render of this fucking VOD that was going on for 5 hours. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have returned. I just had to re-vote for fucking best adaptation. You know, that's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, 404, fuck you again. I will rape you anally and orally and vaginally and penisally. Motherfucker! What the hell? Guys, this is just not my day. Guys, this is just not my... This is what I get. I should have gone to Japanese class. I should have gone to my... Horikawa sensei. Horikawa sensei. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Please. Please stop smiting my internet. Not even my internet. The fucking website. Please. I'm so sorry. So not only has the site been 404ing, yeah, I already went through fucking like 4 or 5 other categories and didn't hit the record button. And then at 404 again, realized I wasn't fucking recording. I blame Jeff for this. All right, we are back with Best Narrative. Like I said before, I have KCD 2. I have unfortunately not played it. I haven't seen much about it, so that is not going to be in talking points here. I'm not even going to consider it, unfortunately. It's probably pretty good, but I know nothing about the story. And I'm also going to be taking Silent Hill out of the conversation here. It's a decent story, but especially when you're stacking it up against the other 3, it's just not comparable here. And I have to say sorry to Ghost of Yotei as well. You put my favorite 2 games in the running here. I'm sorry. What do you want? And now when I was first recording this, I actually had to think about this for a minute on which one I was going to pick. Because Clair Obscure Expedition 33, I remember when we were playing that game, you can go watch the VODs of when we were playing it. I really loved the story, talking about grief and, you know, everything around it and being able to move on. I even remember after the game was over, I made TikToks talking about the ending to the game between Verso and Mael and just how all of that figured out, and talking about the morality of shit behind that, and the decision making. Oh my god, it was amazing. And while I loved Death Stranding 2's story as well, of fatherhood and continuing on Sam's story, goddamn, I gotta give it to Expedition 33 again. I gotta give it to them. Oh my fuck! Oh my fuck! Dude, what the? Okay, I might actually need to take a break and come back in like an hour or two. I'll see you guys in like an hour or two, because this is fucking annoying. This is now like the 6th or 7th fucking time.
I see you don't have a lifeguard here at your beach. Why not? The beach is so bad.
Shit! All right, best community support. Again, I don't play many of these games. Hell, Fortnite, I haven't actually played in a few months. I mean, the last time I even booted up the game was when the K-pop Demon Hunter skins came out, just so I could buy those and never used them. But most of these I haven't played, and Fortnite I haven't played in a while. But based off of hearsay and what I hear online, Baldur's Gate 3 is probably the best with this. If I remember correctly, it even won last year. I could be very wrong about that. I haven't done research, and I'm not going to fucking do research on that. But I'm going to talk out of my ass because that's where the shit spews from. Are you fucking with me? Are you fucking with me? I have a movie in an hour. Dude, no, this wasn't helpful. No, it was absolutely not helpful. What the fuck what do you mean? I'm not hooked up to Ethernet, but I doubt that's going to be much of a fucking change. Will that be much of a change? I'll be right back. All right, we're gonna try something here. We're just gonna see if this will work. Like you're laughing now, dude. I'm snaking this shit all the way across my fucking kitchen because my router's on top of my goddamn refrigerator. Oh, don't knock over my iced cold coffee. I never tried iced coffee, but I guess today's the day where I'm gonna have to learn how the fuck to get over it.
Well, it's long enough. That is unfortunately what she said. I'm gonna fucking crash out because I can't see this goddamn port and it's not plugging in.
All right, it's in. That is also what she said. Holy shit, that might have actually made it. That actually might have worked it. That might have fucking worked it. Now, after a fucking hour, I can actually re-record the Games for Impact section. Now, I only know of one game on here, and that is South of Midnight, and I unfortunately have not played it, so I didn't even get to hit change my vote. Well, you already fucking know what I'm voting for, and it is South of Midnight. It's the only game I even really heard about before all of this. So that is going to be the game I'm going with. All right, for best multiplayer game. I have not played Battlefield 6. I have not played Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders might have been in the conversation, but you can thank Shroud for not being in the conversation anymore. Wanted to fucking diss Expedition 33. We can't let that Expedition game win Game of the Year. You really thought Arc Raiders was in fucking the conversation at all? You really thought that Arc Raiders was even in the conversation? If I remember correctly, Arc Raiders is only nominated for this and I think one other section. Are you okay? Are you mentally retarded? I think you are. Arc Raiders was never in the conversation for Game of the Year, and it is absolutely out of the conversation for Best Multiplayer because of Shroud. You're welcome. So it is between Elden Ring, Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction for me. Again, I have not played any of these, but I have heard a lot about it. Elden Ring, Night Rain, I will not be getting into. That is out of the conversation. Just because I remember that when the game was coming out, it was kind of shaky. Not a lot of people were super into it. It wasn't like a terrible game, but it had some things with it that were a little iffy. If I remember correctly, there's not even like an in-game chat for Trio's mandatory game, or I'm pretty sure it's Trio's mandatory. I could be wrong on that. I haven't seen it really since the game came out. I have the game, but that does not mean I've done shit with it. So yeah, and with Peak, I've seen it around. I did just buy it literally last night, but I haven't really gotten around to playing it. I haven't seen much about it either, so that will also be taken out. But Split Fiction, made by the guys who did It Takes Two over there at Hazelight, I will absolutely give it to Split Fiction, because even when the game was coming out, I remember that people were putting this in the Game of the Year conversation. So absolutely Split Fiction. I'm on fucking Ethernet. Let's go. I swear to God, if I see something about a 404, if I see some shit about a 1015 again, oh my God. If I see a 1015, you're going to get a 2319, and you don't want a 2319. All right, best independent, best indie game, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I do not know anything about Absalom or Ball X Pit. I'm sorry, don't know anything about them. So those are not in there. Blueprints, I'm also taking out. I've heard a lot about it, especially when the game was first coming out, about how this could be a Game of the Year contender. But I never really saw anything. If my memory serves correctly, it's like a puzzle mystery game. But I haven't seen anything about the story or gameplay. To be fair, I haven't tried to go out and figure any of that out. But like normally when something is being talked about so much that to put it in Game of the Year talks, I would normally see some stuff about it, like through TikTok, because I was on there so much when it was around. And I didn't really see much, so unfortunately, I am going to be taking Blueprints out. Now, for kind of similar reasons, I'm also taking out Hades 2. Nothing against Hades 2. I have seen a little bit more about the game, but haven't seen a lot. Not as much as Hollow Knight Silksong, especially not as much as Expedition 33. So it's a little lower on the list there. I'm also going to be taking out Hollow Knight. We're giving this to Claire Obscure. You know what the fuck you came here for. Did you not hear me earlier when I said that this is my second favorite game of all time, tied with Death Stranding 2? Did you really fucking think it was going to be Hollow Knight Silksong? Respectfully, did you think it was going to be Hollow Knight Silksong? Get the fuck out of here. Mother of fuck. Jeffy boy, Jefferson Keeley. Jeffy, I got a pencil. What the hell are we doing, buddy? What the hell are we doing? You know, I haven't actually tried to record a video in months. Hell, I've written 2 scripts in that time that I haven't actually recorded anything for yet. I don't know if I ever will. And I got really excited to make this video. And I was all ready, especially earlier when I got all the games set up and everything. I was super excited to do this video. This isn't helping. All right, next up, and this one's honestly a little tough. This one's a little tough here. Best debut indie. Now, Despelette, Megamonk, get out of here. I'm sorry. Again, Despelette hadn't heard before. I did actually hear about Megamonk, but the only reason I heard of Megamonk before this was because I saw a tweet from Sandfall Studios talking about how oh, we're so happy that we're nominated for all this, but we really think Megamonk should be getting this. That's the only time I ever heard about Megamonk. So I'm sorry. And again, Blueprints, same reasons as earlier. Now, where it honestly gets a little tough for me is Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Obviously, I love it. It is my game of the year. But Dispatch, maybe it's a bit of recency bias, but holy fuck, I loved Dispatch. I don't know if I would put it above Claire Obscure as my favorite game, because especially when you look into the gameplay of it, while it was serviceable, wasn't the best. Obviously, this was a choice-based game, so it wasn't as engaging as something like Claire Obscure. And if you weren't doing the choices that didn't have a huge effect on many things in the story, then you were doing the little, resource allocation or the hacking, which were fine. I thought they were pretty fun, but they weren't amazing, at least in comparison to Expedition 33. So while, again, recency bias saying I would love to put Dispatch up there, I have to give it to Expedition 33 once again. All right, best VR AR. I don't know if any of these are actually augmented reality. I didn't know AR games were still being made. Not that I'm mad at that. I just didn't know. I genuinely thought that Five Nights at Freddy's AR game was one of the last AR games that got made. I didn't know those were still going on. But to be fair, I'm not super tapped into VR and AR and all of that, so that could probably be why. I don't know. But we have Alien, Rogue, Incursion, Arkan Age, Ghost Town, Marvel's Deadpool VR, and The Midnight Walk. I'm not super sure why Marvel's Deadpool VR is in here when it doesn't come out until tomorrow. So critics and reviewers are the only people who actually have played this game so far. Nobody else has played the game. So anybody that's voting today probably isn't voting for Marvel's Deadpool VR. I don't know when the cutoff date is for when games can come into voting here. Obviously, it's after the 17th of November. But I thought it would have been earlier, beginning of November at the latest. But I don't know. I have not played it, but I am going to go with The Midnight Walk. I do remember when we were seeing trailers for it, it was like a claymation little horror style, and that actually intrigued me. Again, I have not played the game, but the trailers got me intrigued. and it's a game that's actually out. Sorry, Deadpool. I am not even halfway through this thing, and it has genuinely been like 2-3 hours since I started recording this video. I am getting so pissy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Let me pull up a chair. Let me tell you a tale. Let me regale. And let me flutter some bat wings, because holy shit, I can tell you right now, it's not Cadril. Is that his name? Cadril? I'm sorry. No. Sucker Amico? No. I'm sorry. The Burt Peanut? I'm sorry, fuck no. It is between Kai Cenat and Big Moist for me, and I can tell you right now, I don't know why they took that image for Moist Critical. That kind of feels like character assassination right there. That feels like malice. But I am giving it to Big Moist. I have to. I have to. Because here's the thing. Personally, I don't watch Kai Cenat. I don't really watch streamers at all, and I genuinely watch Moist Critical. I don't watch his streams, of course, but I do watch his videos. And I'm not even joking, the past like month or two, I've been binging his videos. I either binge his individual videos or I find compilations of his uploaded by other channels talking about different games, movies, not music, TV shows, just different random things, the court cases, the Pokemon scalping. Genuinely, I just sit there and binge his videos. It is my favorite background noise, and I don't mean that in a rude way. Personally, I have to give it to Moist Critical.
That's not even know. Yeah, that is Bulgarian splits bloods with a side of RDLs. Like she bought a cake, she built the cake. Come on.
Don't worry about what the fuck I was just watching on TikTok, by the way. Fuck off, dude. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I got a movie in an hour. I'm going to go watch my movie. Now you see me, now you don't. I got to go finish up the trilogy. I'm going to go see that. So I will see you guys in like 3-4 hours when I get back and we can finish up the video then. Cool. And I got to leave the place kind of looking like this right now. I don't even feel like getting out of this just to go watch a movie. I'm going to go watch it just like this. And we're just going to see how that rolls. All right, motherfuckers, I have returned. Let's see, now you see me, now you don't. It was all right. Spoiler, by the way, they fucking killed Thaddeus. Don't bring him up for the rest of the movie. The plot twist makes it feel like they should have, addressed that a little more. Like Atlas, with his last moments with Thaddeus, it would have made a little bit more sense for Atlas to be like, the fuck you mean? The fuck you mean? I won't spoil too much about that, but the magic is the real part of the movie. Legitimately, the magic is the real part, and they did the magic very well. So you know what? I can't complain about that. But I have this up now. It looks like the site actually. No. Oh wow. Yeah. No. That the animations pop up, but the site is still shit. I'm like fairly certain it's not even a network issue. It's legitimately just the website is really shitty. Because I hit the card to go to the game and it just took 10-20 seconds to load. But it didn't even use like a little loading like icon or anything, which leads me to believe that there's some sort of delay on the back end. But anyway, most anticipated game. I come back after a few hours and now I have a real dilemma on my hands. What do I think is going to be the most anticipated game of 2026 or just the future? We've got 5 very solid contenders here. 007 First Light. We've all been wanting a James Bond game. As soon as this got announced, hands in the air. Yes, please. Yes, please. Grand Theft Auto 6. It's only been, 15 years since the last game. It's just a small wait. It's basically like a walk in the park. Then Marvel's Wolverine, which got, what was that? Was that 2020 or 2022? I forget. But that's been here for a while, more anticipated than GTA 6, obviously. Resident Evil Requiem. I don't know if I would really call that an anticipated game. People are excited for it. I just haven't really heard anybody being like, oh my God, we need a new Resident Evil. Respectfully. The Witcher 4, I can understand that. Witcher 3 was 2015, so it's been about 10 years. I can understand that. Let's not fucking kid ourselves. It's GTA 6. I genuinely, if GTA 6 does not win this, I think it's either grifters who fucking botted this shit, or the Game Awards just don't want to give to GTA 6 for some dumb fuck reason. It's obviously GTA 6. Let's be serious for a second. Wow, no, the site is still really slow. It does not. I cannot fathom that there is still so many people on right now that the network is still that slow. Like, look at this. You saw I just clicked the button. Let's give it a. Oh, actually, that loaded faster. Okay, maybe I was wrong earlier. Maybe people are finally getting the fuck off and going to touch some grass, going to watch a movie, maybe. Best action adventure. Yeah, let's be honest here. I think you already know what I'm gonna go with here. Big shocker. Or giving that to Death Stranding 2, absolutely. We're giving that to Death Stranding 2. God, I feel really bad for Yote right now because, like, I actually want to give stuff to Yote, but everything that Yote gets nominated for, it's also with Expedition 33 and with Death Stranding 2, and I can't not give it to those games. All right, next up is Best RPG. All right, we have Avowed. Now, to be fair to Avowed, I do remember hearing that the RPG elements of the game were actually pretty good, but there was some of that Obsidian jank in there that made it less than satisfactory. Expedition 33, I think, is a pretty good RPG. Monster Hunter Wilds, fuck Outer Worlds 2. Just no. Mess me with that gay shit for trying to make it an $80 game after everybody was bitching about Mario Kart World. Everybody then tried to come to the defense of Outer Worlds 2 on the $80 game. Good thing they rolled it back. I appreciate that. But the game preaching against anti-capitalism, making one of the most capitalist decisions of making it more expensive, fuck no. Especially when, respectfully, the Outer Worlds one wasn't even all that much. So for me, it's between Clair Obscur, Kingdom Come, Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm going to take Monster Hunter Wilds out. Did not play much of it. I know it's a great RPG, but I'm going to take it out. From what I remember, there's also still some jank with it that has not been fixed to this day, like with bugs and stuff. So I know that doesn't like affect the RPG elements of it necessarily. Same thing with Avowed, where like it doesn't exactly affect the RPG-ness of it, but it still makes it put in a little less light because the other games might do the RPG elements just as good or better, and they don't have the jankness. So I mean, what can I say? Now it's going to be between Expedition 33 and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and you know, I've been kind of glazing Expedition 33, I'm not going to lie. But I am going to give it to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 here. And I have said that I haven't played Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I've only seen a very little bit of the game. But what I do know about the game is that it is a good RPG. It is an RPG. And as much as Clair Obscur is an RPG, it's not like a real RPG. Like, it doesn't really get into the RPG as like the most you get is obviously allocating skill points, giving weapons, and then your Pictos, which I think the Pictos system in itself is amazing. I absolutely love the idea of the Pictos and all of that. Beautiful. But that's about as deep as it goes. At least as vast as goes, I should say. Where Kingdom Come Deliverance is more a true nature RPG from my understanding. So for that, if we're going off the best RPG, what has the best role-playing game mechanics, I'm going to go with that. Especially because while I do not knock it for this, Expedition 33 is very character-driven and they want you to be like your character. Whether that's Verso, Mael, Gustav, Lune, Shiel, Minoko, whether it's any of them, they want you to be that character. There's no real deviating from that. And again, I love the game because of that, but I don't think that makes it a better RPG. So I will be giving it to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for best RPG. Sandfall, if you're listening, I will still gladly glaze you when the next title comes out. Absolutely. Don't even worry about it. My mouth is open. Your dick is ready. Holy shit, the site's actually running. Oh my god. Guys, it's actually running. I say that and then it pauses for another 15 seconds. You know, it's not helping. All right, best fighting game. Now, I am not a fighting game person, so I'm going to go into this fully transparent. I have not played any of these. But the closest to a fighting game that I've played, genuinely, is like Jump Force. Genuinely, the closest to just a regular arena fighter or a 2D fighter, it has been Jump Force. So I do not know much about fighting games. The most I know are some of the characters, some of the special moves in them. So going off what I know, I obviously know Capcom Fighting Collection 2. I know about the Capcom Fighters. I know about Mortal Kombat. That's a no shit, no brainer. And I know about Virtua Fighter only by name. I only actually know about Virtua Fighter because whenever I watch Spawn Wave, he'll every once in a while he'll always bring up Virtua Fighter, especially recently because they were talking about Virtua Fighter 5 and some other stuff. So I've never seen any gameplay of it. I've never played Virtua Fighter. I've never known anybody that's even had or played Virtua Fighter. But I do know that it is a popular title in the fighting game genre. So for me, it's really going to be between Mortal Kombat and Capcom. And I'm going to be honest, I know more people from Capcom, so we're going to go with Capcom. Again, not a fighting game person. Please don't come after me. When I was playing Dispatch, I selected the Get Over Here instead of the Spirit Bomb, if that's for anything. Best action game: Battlefield 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, Hades, Ninja Gaiden, Shinobi. I have not played any of these. I was gonna say I have a few of them. I only have one of them, and that's Doom. I will say Battlefield 6, very high up there. A lot of people are really loving the game. Doom, a good amount of people liked it. Some people said it was one of the better Dooms. Better, I believe some people said it was better than Eternal. It was either Eternal or 2016, but it was better than one of those. I haven't really seen many people talk about Ninja Gaiden 4, honestly. Like I heard like a few things when the game first came out, but I haven't heard anything since. It has only been, I think, a few weeks, so I'll be fair there. But I haven't really heard a case for that. Same with Shinobi Art of Vengeance. It did look cool when we were seeing stuff about it. But again, haven't heard much ever since the release of it. I am going to go for Hades 2. I think the hype is there alone. So I think going off of hearsay and going off of secondhand accounts, I can safely go for Hades 2 here. And it's still 12 sections to go. Holy shit, it's almost like I wasn't even halfway through. All right, innovation in accessibility. Now, haven't played any of these games. I do have two of them. Haven't heard much about the accessibility, I'll be very honest. I've heard a little bit about it in Assassin's Creed Shadows and South of Midnight, but I don't know a lot. The most I could say that I know is like for Doom: The Dark Ages. I know they had a lot of difficulty sliders, or not difficult, well, kind of like sliders for different things. And I don't know if that's exactly innovation and accessibility. That's what I'm assuming. For that reason only, I'm going to give it to Doom because I genuinely do not know what the other games have done. Unfortunately, I don't know what Atomfall did. I don't know what Assassin's Creed Shadows did. South of Midnight. I didn't even fucking know EA Sports FC 26 did anything with accessibility. I thought it was just the standard FIFA release, but I guess not. But I'm going to give it to Doom: The Dark Ages because I'm assuming those sliders are what they are talking about, and that's the only one I know about. Apologies to all my disabled friends, which is a lot of them. A lot of them are really mentally retarded. At least I like to think they are. Best family. That's a great segue. Best family. So we got Donkey Kong, Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross World, Split Fiction. I'm going to tell you right now, 3 of these are getting cut right away, and that's Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Voyagers, and Split Fiction. The only reason I am cutting them, not saying they are bad games, but because that's really they're 2-player games. Is Donkey Kong a 2-player? I'm pretty sure it is. I think one of you can be Paulina, which is basically just as good as you being the second player in fucking Mario Galaxy, where you just get to be the pointer. Yeah, they're 2-player games. Like, yes, that's technically, I guess, a family thing, because a family could be 2 people if it's like a husband and a wife, boyfriend, girlfriend type deal, or just 2 kids who are siblings. Technically, yes. But when I think of a family game, I think of a Mario Party. I think of a Mario Kart or a Sonic Race. I think of a game that you can play with 3, 4, multiple people. So when it's just a game for 2 people, and in some of those cases like Donkey Kong Bonanza, that's just you're the one making the singing noise, I don't see that as a family game. Again, not saying these are bad. I just don't think they should be a family game, at least in my interpretation of it. If I had to go for any of these, God, I don't even know, dude. Because I'm going to be honest, each one of them has their own things. Mario Kart World, I want to give it to it, but that $80 price tag, fuck, that's hard to defend. I don't even think it was 70. I've said this multiple times. I don't even think it was worth 70 if I'm being 100% honest. I thought it was a good $60 game. Not 70, not 80. And but then that leaves Sonic Racing Crossworlds. And while I don't have any real problems with the game, it's more of people trying to hype it up so much like it was better than Mario Kart simply because it wasn't an $80 game. I also have a problem with it because there are so many people talking about the Legend ZA DLC and how that got released before the game even released. Except Sonic Racing Crossworlds did the exact same thing. Granted, not $30 fucking dollars, but they still advertised a DLC pack before the game released. Why are you doing DLC packs this early in the? They released 2 DLC packs, Mega Man and SpongeBob. Why? Like, honestly, I might go with Lego Party just because Mario Kart World annoys me for the price and Sonic Racing annoys me for the hypocrisy. I might have to go Lego Party. I'm going Lego Party. I don't really have a dog in the fight, to be honest. Like I said, if I didn't care about like the definition of a family game, I probably would have gone with Donkey Kong Bonanza. But I just don't see that as a family game, unfortunately. Same reason I don't see fucking Shadow of Erdtree DLC as Game of the Year. Thank God they didn't do any of that bullshit this year. All right, next, best sim/strategy: Final Fantasy Ivalice Chronicles, Jurassic World Evolution 3, Sid Meier's 7, Tempest Rising Altars, 2 Point Museum. I only know about 4 of these games. I don't have any of them, haven't played any of them, and I've only seen a little bit about 2 of them. One of them was just full-on ads. I've only seen a little bit about Sid Meier's Civilization 7 because whenever I would go to GameStop to get a game, they would always have the ad playing on the TV back there. I saw a little bit about Final Fantasy as well from when we were watching the Nintendo Directs and the PlayStation State of Plays that those popped up. But I never even really saw the original Final Fantasy Tactics, so I don't know much about that. Personally, just based off my little bit of knowledge, I'm going to be giving it to the Altars because from what I remember hearing when that game was coming out, it was a very interesting game and people actually really enjoyed it. So again, we're going off hearsay. I'm going to give it to the Altars for this one. Guys, we actually made it through like, 4 categories without it bogging down immensely. All right, looking here, EA Sports FC26, F125, Mario Kart World Rematch, Sonic Racing, Cross Worlds. It's not going to either of the first 2. I can tell you that now. I'm not giving it to a yearly sports title. I'm sorry. I know it's best sports and racing. It's not going to them. I'm also going to, for the same reasons earlier, not give it to Mario Kart World or Sonic Racing. I'm sorry. What I am going to give it to is Rematch. And I think I actually have a decent reason. Other than I hate all the other ones. I remember when it was first coming out and everybody was like, oh, this looks like Sifu. Why does this look like Sifu? Why are they making a sports game that looks like Sifu? But you know what? It looks pretty cool. And I have not played it myself, but I have seen gameplay of it, and it looked like a lot of fun. So I am going to give it to Rematch for the best sports and race. Well, I guess I'll talk here. So these next 3 sections are all esports. I don't watch esports. I don't got a dog in this fight. I don't have a dog in the fight. The only thing I know about esports is obviously some of the games, but I don't watch esports all that much. So it's between League of Legends and Valorant, and League of Legends is getting carried hard by Arcane because I just watched that earlier this year. God, who do I hate less? League of Legends players or Valorant players? Probably Valorant players, if I'm honest. League of Legends players, I only hear really terrible things about. Valorant players, at least, are a little chill. At least it's not Arc Raiders with Shroud's bitch ass. Still not over that comment. All right, for best esports athlete, I know none of these guys. I'm very sorry. I don't even recognize their faces. Like, I don't know shit. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Random number generator. Here we go. We're gonna hit it 3 times. Let me get it framed. We're hitting it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Number 5. Menard Saul Leonardo. Street Fighter. Good looks, my guy. I hope you win. You're fucking kidding me. You're fucking kidding me. Holy shit. What is wrong with this website? Again, this is the Game Awards, the biggest award show in gaming. Jeff Keighley's Game Awards basically replaced E3. Well, Summer Game Fest replaced E3, but God, that's still fucking Jeff Keighley. I know Jeff isn't back there, doing all the coding on this shit. He's not the one with his thumb on the pulse of exactly everything on the website. Well, he kind of is, honestly. So what the fuck? There we go. Okay. Best esports team. We are going to do the same thing. Actually, the only one I think I actually know about is NRG. And I'm pretty sure I only heard about them once. That's not what I want to show. That's for later. Don't ask why there's Pokemon, because that's for later. Go to the nerd section if you're interested. 1, 2, 3, Gen G. Good job, guys. Hope you win. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to, holy shit, that loaded fast. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to our last two. Best game direction, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. All of these games are great. All of these games are good. Split Fiction, get the fuck out of here. Hades 2, get the fuck out of here. Ghost of Yotei, Scooch. Did you expect anything else? And I will be having to give it to Expedition 33, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely. I mean, you want to talk about innovation in game design. Clair Obscur is that. Clair Obscur is innovation in gaming. And finally, game of the year. Holy shit, that loaded fast. What? Did Jeff hear me? Did Jeff hear me? I didn't realize. Jeff, I'm sorry. Jeff, I know you're watching the video now because clearly it just loaded so fast. Content creator 2026. I could go up against Kaisenad, Big Moist. You know, you can take my photo here. I could put pads in if you need this to bulk them. Thank you very much. So our choices for Game of the Year 2025. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, no question that was going to be in here. Next up, Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Honestly, it was a little questionable coming up to this with all the new games coming out, but I always knew that this was probably going to be in there. Kojima and Jeff are butt buddies. Obviously, I thought this was going to be in. Next up, Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'll be honest, surprised me that a lot of people thought that this was going to be in there, and I'm surprised it is in there. Not saying I'm mad at it. I just didn't expect it. Next up, Hades 2. The game came out. I'm pretty sure it is still currently the highest rated on Metacritic. I might be wrong. I want to say it's a 94, 93. So that makes total sense. Hollow Knight Silk Song. What else do you got to say? It's Hollow Knight Silk Song. Did you really think it wasn't going to be in here? And finally, the one that I am actually really surprised for. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, this is not to say that I think it doesn't deserve to be in here. I remember when the game came out, people were talking about this being Game of the Year. I absolutely think that it deserves a nomination. I honestly just thought it would have gone to Yotei, in my opinion. Again, did not play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but I also haven't finished Yotei, so I don't have the full experience for both of them. And when I say I haven't finished Yotei, I mean, as soon as Legends ZA came out, I haven't touched the game since, and I only defeated the second fucking guy. I can't even remember. I don't mean to be rude. But yeah, was not expecting Kingdom Come Deliverance. Like, I definitely thought that if it wasn't going to be Yotei, it was probably going to be this. I expected Yotei. And one thing that is kind of annoying me, and again, this is just community turning me off to stuff like with Sonic Racing Crossworlds, is people who saw this and then started saying, why did you think Yotei would be Game of the Year? Yotei obviously wasn't going to be getting a nomination. Obviously? The fuck you mean obviously? That was Ghost of Yotei was like thought of as a solid Game of the Year nominee contender for months before it even came out. The fuck do you mean? What do you mean? Again, that shouldn't be a detractor for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's just kind of annoying. And respectfully, I don't think it's going to win. I think out of all of these, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Hades 2 are probably the least two likely to get Game of the Year. I would say Donkey Kong Bonanza is right behind that. Probably Death Stranding 2, then Hollow Knight Silk Song, in my honest opinion. Obviously, do I even need to explain why? Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is going to be my Game of the Year. I think it will just be the Game of the Year. Again, unless there's some bots or some weird shit happening behind the scenes, I genuinely do think that this will be. I'm not really going to be mad if anything else wins. Okay, no, I will be mad. I will be thoroughly annoyed if anything else wins. I mean, this has been talked about as game of the year since it came out. It did come out after Kingdom Come 2. It did come out after Kingdom Come 2. But even then, people were still saying that this was better than Kingdom Come 2. So I think it easily beats that out. Again, my order for how I would do Game of the Year here, Expedition 33 at the top. I would do Silk Song at second, Death Stranding 2 at third, Donkey Kong Bonanza at 4, Hades 2 at 5, Kingdom Come at 6. Again, not to say that any of these games are bad. I think these other ones are just better. And the only reason I even say Silk Song is better than Death Stranding 2 is because of all the hype that's there for it. There was a lot of hype for Death Stranding 2, but there is also just as much like annoyance with it. And the annoyance mostly comes from people who don't like Kojima games, don't like Kojima glazers, or just didn't like the first Death Stranding game. Like, I will be fair, it is, well, it not is. Death Stranding 2 can sometimes be a bit of a walking simulator. Now, they stepped it up a lot more from the first game, where it is not like that as much, but there are some moments where it can still be like that. And that's where it kind of detracts people from it, because while there is more action in this game than the first one, and there is still a good amount of action, the main premise is still deliveries, and some people just don't know how to sit back and chill for some fucking reason. They always have to have their dick right in their fucking ass. So I do think that that is just a bit of a detractor, where Hollow Knight Silk Song will go right above it. Of course, Hollow Knight Silk Song has its own grifters, because you always have to have a contrarian in the world. You always have to have a devil's advocate. That's in quotes because I don't think they're trying to play devil's advocate. But I think it's to a lesser degree and a lesser pool than Death Stranding 2. But yeah, Expedition 33, absolutely. You know, one funny thing that I don't see here, Arc Raiders. You know, I know we were all thinking it. I know we were all worrying and wondering, where's Arc Raiders? We got to the last one where it said Kingdom Come Deliverance, and everybody said, where the fuck was Arc Raiders? I know. It baffled me as well. It's just Shroud. What do you say? Fuck off. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all 29. All 29 after so fucking long, dude. Holy shit. Fix your website for next year. Pretty please. Now, in about 2 weeks, they are also going to be having the Player's Choice go live for those nominations. For anybody that does not remember how Player's Choice works, they give you about a pool of, I think, 50 games, something like that, 50 games of the most popular games of the year, and they let everybody pick their top choices. I believe you pick your top, I want to say 10, then you pick your top 5, and then you pick your favorite out of that, something like that. It might be top 15, then top 6. I forget the numbers. Yeah, but I will obviously not be throwing that in this video since I don't even know who the nominees are. I'm assuming Expedition 33 is going to be in there, and if it is, then that will be my Player's Choice. When the actual stream comes around on December, I think it's 14th, when that stream comes around, you guys can come in and you can chill, and I will give my what I chose for each each round of the Player's Choice, so that you guys can get a bit more of an idea of that. But if Expedition 33 is in there, then Expedition 33 will be my Player's Choice. But yeah, that's really all we got. All the games we've got during the year, a whole list of digital games that we've got, a whole nother list of games that I still want to get, and I might get. You'll see this setup again if you tune into the stream on December 14th. I don't know what time, probably sometime around 5 p.m. Eastern. Wait, when does the show start again? 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll see. Maybe I'll play a game for a little bit if I start streaming earlier that day. Just December 14th. Come back here and check it out. I will be streaming here on YouTube as well as on TikTok. I will also be trying to stream, I think it's around December 4th when Metroid Prime 4 comes out. I want to at least do one day where I show you guys the beginning of the game and how I'm playing through the beginning of it, and then I will probably play the rest of it on my own time. Same way I did that with Yote, same way I did that with another game, ZA. Same way I did that with ZA. And if you guys are not able to make it to the stream, do not worry. You can also go check out my VOD channel, also linked in the description below, where I upload the entirety of my VODs. I will be uploading my most recent one where I played all 8 episodes of Dispatch. I need to go through and do the little edits and now get it re-rendered, the entire fucking thing. So yeah, go check that out. You can also see a bunch of old games that I played. When I played Expedition 33, First Berserker Kazan, that first day of Yotei and Legend ZA, when I played Ghost of Tsushima, when I played Death Stranding and Death Stranding 2, and a bunch of other games. Again, you can go check that out all on the VOD channel. And yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing more videos in the future. Of course I would love to, and I will do something in the future. I just cannot guarantee frequency. I cannot guarantee consistency. Yeah, this semester has been fucking busy for me. I've been learning a whole new language in Japanese, and I'm also trying to get a job in Japan. I'm not going to speak more on that because I would like to actually hope I do get the job before I put that out into the universe. So if I get the job, I'll make a video on it. And yeah, just senior year has been fucking hell. Next semester is already going to be more hell. Maybe I'll have more time for streaming and making videos. It's really up in the air. We will see. Maybe I'll do a little bit more streaming over winter break, although if I'm being honest, I'll probably use that for R&R as I should. And I will be using it for more of my nerd shit. Let's talk about nerd shit now. If you don't want to talk about nerd shit with me, I appreciate you being here. I will see you guys later. Be whoop, bye-bye. I'm watching some Dr. Mike. But now I'm going to talk about some nerd shit. Come, sit with me. All right, welcome to Nerd Shit 101. So, I am a huge fan of Pokemon. If you couldn't tell, I played Legend ZA. So I'm a huge nerd. I really, really, really love Pokemon. I said it earlier, Pokemon White 2 is and always will be my #1 favorite game, heavily based on nostalgia, I'll be very fair. But I absolutely love that, and I do love Pokemon games for as much as I do bitch about them. So I have made a spreadsheet on as much as you could possibly do within these games, completing the Pokedex, collectibles, as much as you could do. I did nerd shit. All of these errors were images, and that leads into part of why I did nerd shit. So I had all these images in here for each of these, or I had added them into the sheet. And it really, really bogged down the sheet. It really bogged it down. And actually, technically, because these are all still here for every single dex, including the national dexes, the few of them that there are in Pokemon Home, it's really bogged down the sheet and its processing. So let's just go to Legend ZA, for example, where I have done almost everything you can in the game. And let's just say I change one of these checkboxes. If you look in the top right, you see a loading bar. Yeah, I don't like that loading bar. That loading bar isn't very fun, not very handy. And I also don't feel like going back and removing all the image things as well. It would have been nice to have images because just, it makes the Pokedexes look a little bit better. But I can't really work with that. And it also is a little bit weird with some things here, like sometimes you have stuff that goes together, like main mission 40, the one that gives. If you complete this, that means you've also caught Xerneas, which means I would need to check it off here separately and then go into the Colossian Dex for Legend ZA, check it off there. And then I also just have this all ordered. Not weirdly, but I wanted to fix up the ordering of all of this as well and how you do calculations, because I also have like distributions in here where that's not technically something you need to do to complete the game. So that's what I count as extra credit. It's a little annoying how I have everything done anyway. So it's just a whole thing. I also have fashion in here, and let me tell you, Legend ZA fashion super fucking annoying, especially when you compare it to like Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield, where yes, there's a lot more diversity. It's also very diverse with all of its fucking colors and what it likes to do, where the other ones were just nice and flat. Anyways, so I thought, let me be big dumb, and you might have seen this up here, and if you were on stream when I was playing Dispatch, you might have seen this as well. I have created, and am still currently working on, what I like to call the Pokemon post-game checklist. There was this one website actually called Pokemon post-game checklist that I remember using back in like middle school. I think it was legitimately 8th grade that I started using this. I remember seeing this. I think it was around Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun Moon times, if I remember correctly. And I saw this and I said, holy shit, that's actually really cool. That's awesome. but I wasn't a huge fan of everything it had. Like, it had a lot of stuff in here, and I used a lot of this for the basis of different things, but it didn't have as much as I wanted. It doesn't have fashion items, obviously. It has berries in here when you can run out of berries, so it's not really like good in that sense, in my opinion. Also, you obviously have a lot of these, but like some of these have little tooltips, but it would be nice to have tooltips for where they are in the game. Like you have this changed from struggle button. Why the fuck would I care? Or like side guard cells where you have these and it tells you where it is, but nothing else. And you have to go to a different guide to find that. Another thing that annoyed me with this, there's no account system. Everything is saved via cookies and your local storage, which means if you ever reset your cookies for your browser, all your data got deleted here. That kind of fucking annoyed me because basically nothing got saved. So I made my own version. Initially, I did it with the spreadsheet back then, and it was I don't even can I even go back that far? I mean, I could, but it's going to be like fucking 5 hours before I scroll to the very beginning. But I started with that spreadsheet to make my own version of this to try and document every noticeable change in the games. And now that I want to do a little bit more with that, I have officially made this into a website. Now, I will say, first of all, this is not public. Currently, you cannot actually access this through like a URL. You can even see up here. I'm just running off of a local host. This is up on a GitHub that I will be throwing in the description. And while not everything is finished, you can at least have stuff for Legend ZA, not Mega Dimensions. That's not done yet because I want to wait until that actually comes out. But you have regular ZA, red, blue, and yellow. I'm currently working on gold. But if we go in here, you can see I have all my stuff. I've reorganized, so legendaries is now just under the gotta catch 'em all section. I have in-game trades and gift Pokemon. And the reason I didn't have those like in here before was because those were linked to side quests. And I thought, well, I already have it as a side quest. I can't go and like check it as another thing. So I might as well just leave it for the side quest. But now I can go in and let's just say Pichu for Heracross. Let's say I do that in-game trade. You check that off, it does this. And then if you go to side quests, it also checks that off for the thing there. I absolutely love that, dude. The syncing in this. Mwah. I even have an actual dex for this showing the icons. And instead of this one where I initially just used regular Pokemon home sprites for all of that, I have dedicated sprites for each game, including their shiny variants. So just for simplicity's sake, let's just say I set everything to caught. It sets everything. I even have a button for forms. Hell, let's just say I want to look up Furfrou. Most forms in the game right now. Has 10 forms. I got them all right here in a little radial. Beautiful. Beautiful. But now let's say you're somebody like me who is going through and trying to shiny hunt a lot of these, or Shalfa, or Sam hunt a lot of these. What if you wanted to throw them in as shiny alphas? Bada bing, bada boom. And it changes in the forms as well. And what's even nicer is that is a few things. One, I added it so that if it's like a Mon that can't be a shiny alpha, like Xerneas, can't be shiny, can't be an alpha, can't be a shiny alpha, it caps it at caught. Or what if it's a mythical? What if it's a mythical and it's not one that you can just naturally catch in the game? Well, I'll throw it. Just doesn't get included. Now, you can still throw it in. Now let's look at this. Obviously, this updates right away, tells you that. But let's say you do catch that mythical. I mean, I've completed the DNC, however you say it, EX event, which is going to get thrown in the Mega Dimensions tab, and I can sync stuff. Don't worry, I'm smart. But let's say I catch that. Boom, boom. I have a little thing here telling you, you got some extra here. You got some extra here. And what's nice is this doesn't actually count towards the gotta catch 'em all section here, which is nice. Because how I currently have it with a bunch, I'll get into that later. Nerd shit, I'm telling you. So let me clear this. Let me clear this all real quick. Set it all to unknown. You do that, to be fair. Maybe I should figure that out. But Let's say you do have AZ's Float. This has a lot of things with it. If you get AZ's Float, that means you obviously need to put it into the decks. Obviously, you got to put it in there. You got to check it here. You also need to check that in the main story for main mission 39, because if you get AZ's Float or Eternal Flower Float, then that also means that you have completed main mission 39. But if you've done that, then that also means you get the Megastone for Float, the Floetite. So let's say you check this off. You can see here it adds 1 to the regional, and that does count as a form, which means that's 1 form that gets put in there. We can even look this up. Floet, Eternal Flower, right there. Also gets Captain Caught because that can't be shiny or alpha. We go into the main story, that also checks it off for main mission 39. Now let's also go to the Megastone. It checks off the Floetite. I'm so fucking hard, dude. I even have all of Mabel's research with some sliders on here that works oh so nicely. I have activities, which is just 1 for most of these. Battle, upgrades with the canary plushes, collectibles with all the screws and the shiny charm, Megastones. I even have fashion in here, also in radials. I do need to fix this up a little bit. Like right now, it's literally, I'm not even joking, yesterday for a good 10 fucking hours it took me to actually get this looking nice. And then also consolidating a lot of files and stuff. So this is still a work in progress, but it is at least serviceable enough right now that I could use it and it can work. When I throw images in, though, this is going to get a little fucky. But I even have all the fashion items in here, all like that. I've got TMs, and for 2 extra credits, I have distributions, all the ones that you can get anywhere in the world. If it's something where it's regional, especially when it comes to older titles, there are some region locked ones. I'm still figuring out how I do that. Maybe I put a setting in where you can set if you want USA or Japanese or Korean distributions. We'll see about that. That's definitely a future edition, though. But you can go and you can check these off, say, hey, I got these, and then extra credit. These are ones that you need extra things to do, like the Megastones here and the ranked battle titles. You need Nintendo Online to get those, which means you have to spend money outside of the game normally to get those. Or the Hollow X and Hollow Y or Trench Coat and Pants set. You had to have pre-ordered the game or have pre-ordered the Mega Dimensions DLC to get that. My entire goal with this sheet is to make it so that you can go in and you can check this off, at least with the main stuff, whenever you want. You could do this 10, 15 years in the future, and without any cheats or hacks, you can go in and you can do all of these naturally. Distributions and extra credit do normally end at some point, though, and you can't get them at some point. But what's nice is that, let's say you check off your extra credit. Let's just say I check all of these off. We got 100% distributions and 100% on all of the extra credit. You can go back here and you can see it's still at a 0%. We haven't done anything here. Let's check off all the legendaries. So that's a 16.74. You can even, oh yeah, because I just checked that off there, right? I was like, wait, why is main story there? Because I checked these off, and that counts for 3 tasks. And look, I dumbfound myself. I genuinely forgot that for a second. We go back here, 6.98%. That is only counting these 2 sections here. These 2 do not get counted. Well, then why the hell do you have extra credit in there if it doesn't count? Well, let me show you, my good sir. Oh, this is another thing. I also, for Gen 1, because there's obviously the Game Boy version, the Game Boy Color version, I have a little toggle here for colored sprites or not. I even went through and like, because I had to personally create some of these, like the trading images and these 2. I did those myself. I even went in and I made those colored, like I made variations for them because I'm so smart. So I have a little thing for that here. But let's say we go through and we have gotten everything that you can possibly get in the game. And I also would like color sprites, please. We've caught all the legendaries. We got the Snorlax, all in-game gifts, in-game trades. We've defeated the Elite Four, and we have caught Mewtwo. I think I didn't. Did I not fix that up? I think those things I might need to fix. I might accidentally have set that as a difficult. No? I don't know why that's not doing that. Okay. No? Okay. So I might have to fix that up. I probably just didn't. I'll fix that. Let's just say I got all of these as well. let's say I got all of the HMs and TMs. Now, we have 100% in Pokemon Red. We've done everything we can possibly do, but there's still some extra credit. We can still get a Mew. Again, technically, you cannot get a Mew anymore legally, but you can hack one in and it'll still get thrown into the deck. So we have obtained Mew. We get that little extra 100%. We come back here, boom, you got a little ring right here saying all the extra credit that you have gotten. It makes me so happy, dude. It makes me so happy. I can't even show it off. But for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Scarlet, I also threw in a Sandwich Dex and a Curry Dex that kind of uses the same like forms that uses this same little radial thing where you can pull that up. I also have in Legends Arceus, because there's research tasks for all the Pokemon, those are ones you can do anytime. So I have a button for research tasks that you can go in with a slider for each task saying how much you've completed it and gone through and done all of that. That's also in there. I also, because currently this is not a public website, while I am going to try and make it one, you can run this completely locally and it will save your data. Currently it will save it to your browser, so you don't have to worry about that. But let's just say for some reason you go and your cookies get deleted, maybe you cleaned it, maybe you transferred computers, whatever. You have a little button up here. This is your backup and import button. I even have an auto backup here. So you choose a folder. I got it up here in my documents, which I highly recommend. Don't put it in the same project folder. And it will save everything to JSON files for you. Everything, it'll save your true or false values, your slider values, everything. When you back up, it'll save it to there. And then if you select the folder and import, it will import all of those files right there. So as long as you have those files, you can run this 100% locally, completely offline. It will work exactly as intended. You even have a little thing here where you can import all, or you can import for the current game if you change something in the JSON maybe, because you can't access a browser for whatever reason. But yeah, I am so excited for this. And I still have more additions. Obviously, I need to add the data for all of these games. I'm working on Gold right now. I have stuff. I have a certain layout thing that I'm doing, so that's why some of these is a little fucked up and not looking like it's best. Yeah, I need to set the paths for all those as well. I also want to add in like the images for the game, like the game icons, and use those in here. I want to use for the Dex buttons. I want to use like a little Pokedex icon instead of an Open Dex button. I think that would be cool. When I make this into a public website, I'd like to do like a global data thing so that we can make like all the users that are actually using the site, if I can find a way to do it, I can combine their stats and see how many people have got 100% in the game and how many people have completed this task or this task. How many people are still working on this task. I'm so excited for this, dude. Like, I'm so excited because it's something that literally I've been wanting to do since middle school, make like an official version of this, because there's so many things that I use nowadays where like I really like how it is, but there's like one or two or a few things in there that I'm like, can we not pull this from a different site? Can we not use this as well? So, and that's one of those things that I wanted to do, is make a website with all those little trinkets, all those little intricacies, and make it the best site that it can be. And well, that's probably not going to be what my day job is, unfortunately. Hell, I don't know what the fuck my job in the future is going to be. I can at least say I have a little bit of, I started somewhere. And as a computer science major, I'm just happy that something that I worked on is actually working. Like, I'm not a terrible coder, I would say. I'm a decent coder, but I'm not creating the next fucking Linux. I'm not going to be creating the next OS or anything like that. I'm not creating the next software. I'm just happy that it's working. I'm happy that it's working. I'm making progress on it. It's just, I'm so excited. So if you guys are interested and you want to go use this for yourselves right now, again, there is a link to the GitHub down below. You can go and you can run it off of your local machine. Again, right now, only Legends ZA, Red, Blue, and Yellow are currently up. Tooltips have not been added for a lot of stuff either, in terms of like locations and stuff. I do want to add that in the future once I can get the general gist of everything down. I also want to add guides and stuff to like Cerebi, IGN, Bulbapedia. So you can also have as many options available to you to help you get through this. I just want this to be like a Pokemon fan's little safe haven for everything that you can do in this game. If a completionist wants to complete everything they possibly can in the game, I want them to come to this site so that they can use it. That's the overall goal. So, if you, like I said, if you guys are interested, please go ahead, go to GitHub, get that shit downloaded, and once I can get this into a real thing, believe me, I will be back here probably retelling you all of this shit in a new video. But I'm just so excited, dude. I'm so excited. So yeah, that's most of my nerd shit. I also did mention I got a Raspberry Pi 5 with a few little add-ons. I still need to print out a case for it, which is why it's kind of just sitting here. And once I get my site officially all set up and ready, I'm actually going to run my own local version of it. I'll see if I can do something where you can like sync your local version to your online version, but I want to have my own local version of it. I like localizing my stuff, so that's why I want to do that. See if I can run some other stuff off it for fun. I also have an Arduino Leonardo. Let me grab that. I have a little Arduino Leonardo with an LCD shield on here and a controller for when I was playing Legends ZA because I want to get a lot of money because those fashion items fucking cost money, which I did buy all of them. I have got all the fashion items in Legends ZA, and this helped. I loaded a little Nintendo Switch library, Pro Controller library onto it, and then I have a micro USB to a USB-C. You hook it into the Switch too, and this acts as a controller. I load macros onto this thing, and I can use the controller to select the different macros in it. I have two in here right now. One for benching, so I could get shinies, and I was able to get a lot of shinies due to this. I think a lot of stuff from Zone 1, Zone 3, Zone 6, I was able to get my shiny Alpha Houndoom. Houndoom is my favorite fucking Pokemon, and with Megas in this game, I have a Sam Houndoom. Literally my favorite Pokemon. I made my trainer. This is my trainer card. Fucking hard, by the way. And I also have one for Restaurant Lana in here, just to auto battle. I chose Emboar because Emboar is the greatest fucking one out of all of these guys. Again, Pokemon White 2, what were you expecting? So I go in, heat crash those bitches, and goddamn, this shit just works, dude. It just works. I also want to get a case for this because I sometimes bring this to work with me. I'll bring my Switch and this to work and just have it running on the side. And I always feel kind of weird just having it sitting out normally like this. So I want to also get a 3D printed case while I'm at college, and I can still do that for very cheap and actually have a 3D printer. So I should probably go get that done soon. But yeah, that's a lot of the nerd shit that I've been doing. Thank you guys. If you're still here, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I also just realized my microphone's been over there, so the audio probably has been sounding really weird for all this. Sorry. I was initially going to have it in my hand and everything, but the cable I have just keeps falling out. So that's why it's there. If the audio has sounded weird this entire time, apologies. Yeah, and that's about it. See you. Okay, actually though, thank you guys for watching so much. I appreciate you guys being here. I will see you guys whenever the next video is. Peace out.